it's a team that killed Mayor Tony Halili. So it was
According to
really
him.
a planned,
According to him, Mr. Chair.
according to
During
Major.
Why were there a lot of deaths during your time as Chief of Police in Cebu?
During that time po, sa Cebu City, I think there was this intense police operation. Kasi
So it doesn't have anything to do with killing.
Hindi naman po sa pagkaintindi ko ganun, sir. Kasi
I don't have position, I don't have power, ganun din po ang mga relatives ko. And sino ba namang hindi rin matakot?
Major Albotra na Region 7.
Lieutenant Colonel Nata, yes, pinagmalaki niya sa akin noon. Oh, talaga, sabi ko, how did you do it? So, mga kilala niya, mga kasama niya.
At sila ang nagpapatay kay Tony Halili?
He said he's in the team, Mr. Chair.
So it's a team that killed Mayor Tony Halili. So it was
According to
really
him.
a planned,
According to him, Mr. Chair.
according to
During
Major.
that time kasi, Mr. Chair, kung meron ng grapevine, like it would appear na it is a operation, nagkakaroon ng code of silence. It's real talk, Mr. Chair, sa PNP, tahimik na. Matatakot na yung iba, matatakot na rin. Even RDs would say na, oh, trabaho yan. Oh, huwag mong trabaho. They will just call you and then it became a culture. Minsan i-process kasi mag-intervene ang NBI, mas nakakatuwa nga kung NBI kasi talagang mas maganda pag ganun. Kaya during my time sa CIDG, nasa Cebu City Police ako, tuwang-tuwa ako pag NBI talaga mag-handle. Kasi definitely, magiging maayos po. That is why, sinasabi ko palagi, gusto ko nagka-hands off after the processing ng crime scene ng crime lab. Pag sinabi na victim na they want NBI, binibigay ko po. That's the reality on the ground, Mr. Chair. You can ask mga ground commanders and chief of police.
So again, Mr. Chairman, I would like to reiterate the name of Major
Lieutenant Colonel Albotra na ata.
Albotra. Kenneth Albotra to be invited in the next hearing.
Comsec, please take note.
With that, Mr. Chairman, with a heavy heart, I yield back for the meantime.
Okay, thank you, Congressman Fernandez. May tanong lang ko kay Colonel Marcos. Colonel Marcos, yung bang prior to your assignment sa Region 8, you're the regional what do you call that? Anong position niya, no?
Regional
Chief ng CIDG sa Region 8.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Prior to that, anong assignment mo?
Deputy Provincial Director po of Leyte PPO, sir.
So sa PPO ka dati. And then eventually, nung after 2016, napunta ka sa CIDG as Regional Chief.
By July, sir.
July of 2016.
Yes, sir.
Kanina kasi nabanggit ni Colonel Garma na ang tinatanong ko kasi, paano ba nagkakaroon ng assignment? No, halimbawa, in example ko kasi kanina, si Colonel Patay, from Davao del Norte, inailipat siya dito sa Quezon City. So, ang sagot sa akin ni Colonel Garma, mayroong mga nagbo-volunteer. Example daw niya, kagaya mo, nag-volunteer ka dyan sa Region 8 because kaya mo raw mag-deliver. And in the lingo of the members of the PNP, nagkakaintindihan kayo pagka pinag-usapan yung deliver. Tama ba yun? Is it safe to assume na yung sinasabing deliver yung merong mga drug personalities na may execute ninyo?
Bali po, sir, yung ibig sabihin ng linggo ng deliver sa amin is pag kinuha ka, sir, na nilagay ka sa isang post na operating unit, you know how to operate, sir. Marunong kang, kumaga, you can perform the performance of an operating unit. Parang ganun, sir.
So it doesn't have anything to do with killing?
Hindi naman po sa pagkaintindi ko ganun, sir. Kasi Hindi pa ako po na-assign ng CIDG ever since in my career. Kaya nung sinabi na kung willing akong ma-assign ng CIDG, nag-oo po ako, sir.
Pero totoo ba na nag-volunteer ka? Na mapwesto ka dyan as regional chief kasi you can deliver. Totoo ba yan?
Sinutan ako, sir, ng order. Bali, yun pong nangyayari po kasi noon is, nangyayari naman po yan ng shoot order. Ang normal process po kasi sa PNP is you seek for an accommodation, then you seek for an availability. Ang nangyari po sa akin is shoot order po. Marami po kaming na-shootan ng order. Because it was a transition, sir. Nangyayari naman po yan sa transition of government. Pag bago po yung leadership, minsan, yung mga gusto nilang ipwesto, pwesto po nila.
Were you ever assigned outside of Region 8? Saan ka ba na-assign dati?
I was assigned, sir, in Malacanang as PSD member during President Ramos' time. Then after that, I was assigned with Region 8 as company commander. Then I was assigned with Region 7. Then I was assigned, sir, in DPRM, NHQ. Then I was assigned with NCRPO, Manila Police. Then I went back, sir, to Region 8 on my hometown after my OSEC. Yun po yung mga assignment ko, sir.
Mr. Chair,
So,
pwede bang
oh yeah, please, Congressman Akop.
na-assign ka sa Malacanang
Yes, sir.
after graduation?
Yes, sir.
For how many months?
For almost 2 years, sir. From 1996 up to late 1997.
Are you sure?
Sir?
Sigurado ka?
Opo, sir. Halos, sir, kinuha kami noon, sir, ng PSG kasi because of the APEC.
Yes.
Yeah, po.
Yun ang totoo.
Opo, sir.
Yung buong class ninyo kinuha dahil may international activity na mangyayari noon dito sa ating bansa.
Opo, sir.
And you lasted for 2 years?
More than, sir. Hindi umabot, sir. Before
Paano yung more than na hindi umabot?
Bali, hanggang March of 1997, sir.
Tinatanong ko lang naman kung 2 years. Sabi mo, hindi magkaugma yung sagot mo kasi. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Congressman Akop.
Because, Mr. Chair, it took me more than a week to make some reflections, and it's very difficult to have the courage po. So, although I have decided naman po, I think it has something to do with my courage to come out po.
What convinced you to come out?
Sabi ko nga, I made some reflections. And I have to go back to yung values ko na lagi ko sinasabi at sinasabi ko rin sa anak ko palagi. And even to my relatives, I would always say the truth because the truth will set you free. And that was the same statement that my daughter told me before I appeared before this Quadcom, Mr. Chair. So, nakaroon po lang ng time when I was inside the detention facility of the Congress to reflect, Mr. Chair.
I commend you for your courage, Ms. Garma. And you also mentioned earlier that you were afraid for your life. Were there threats made against you?
Mr. Chair, right now there is no threat. But knowing the capability of those persons that I have mentioned, they are in position, some of them are in position, they have the assets, capability, and influence, Mr. Chair. At ngayon po, I'm just a mere ordinary person lang po ako. I don't have position, I don't have power, ganun din po ang mga relatives ko. And sino ba namang hindi rin matakot? Which is normal po.
In paragraph number 13, you said that Mr. Leonardo informed you that he stayed at a hotel for 3 days, during which the President directed him to organize a task force similar to the PAOK TF. So what is the name of this new task force?
Wala po, Mr. Chair, hindi na po nalagyan ng pangalan. Kasi naging simple na lang po na sa CIDG Region 11 na lang po ang parang pinaka, how would you call this? Parang pinaka focal area o focal point. So hindi na siya ganun ka-structured na may mga specific officers to handle per area. Kasi na-mobilize din po mismo na yung RD, yung PD, and Chief of Police.
So itong task force na sinasabi niyo po,
Hindi po nagawa po yan.
hindi
Mr.
siya nagawa or meron pa ring team pero hindi siya official?
Yung team po, it's more on consolidation, encoders, in charge in the payout, monitoring, mga ganun na lang po na simplify ang setup po dun sa office ng CIDG 11.
Tapos sinabi niyo, so nandun sila sa CIDG 11.
Yes.
So parang may parallel force doon sa CIDG 11 na secret na gumagawa ng ganitong war on drugs.
Hindi naman po secret, Mr. Chair, kasi lahat naman ng Chief PNP, RD, PD, Chief of Police, alam naman nila na nandun talaga. It's not a secret. It's known sa lahat po ng officers yan. It so happened na in addition to their mga duties, nadagdagan lang po. Yan po.
Yung sa Region 11, CIDG.
Yes po, Mr. Chair.
And you said that your reason for refusing is your lack of experience in handling such operations. But was there any other reason why you refused to be a part of this?
Yes, Mr. Chair, aside from that, kasi during the time, there was an instruction from the President. I was there, Bongo and Leonardo was also there, when the President mentioned to us that he wants me to join the team sa Malacanang to handle police and military affairs. Kasi po, sabi niya, it's too much kay Sen Bongo na i-handle lahat ng ahensya. So because of that, hindi ka naman din makatanggi kung ganyanin ka. Point, sabi ko, yes lang ako na yes sa President.
Sa President?
Yes po. Pero hindi rin po nagtagal kasi po, nagkaroon din po ako ng order na na-reassign na ako sa Region 7 CIDG after my graduation sa OSEC.
Okay. And then you were assigned as Police Chief of Cebu.
And then a year and a half after, naging Chief of City Director po ako ng Cebu City. In fact, that was actually offered to me by General Sinas, yung position na City Director. I have no intention or interest to the position, but since it was offered and I realized po na magandang break po sa career kasi City Director. So actually, it took me for a while para pag-isipan kasi during that time po, yung Region 7 na CIDG ay located lang po sa loob din mismo ng Cebu City at nakikita ko po na napakalaki ng problema ng Cebu City. And I was thinking kung makakayanan ko ba na i-handle yung administrative and operational concerns and issues ng Cebu City, which is during that time naman po, si General Sinas is very supportive. I have high respect on him. And sabi ko, mukhang maganda magtrabaho with him because marunong siyang mag-support sa mga tao sa ground during that time.
Why were there a lot of deaths during your time as Chief of Police in Cebu?
During that time po, sa Cebu City, I think there was this intense police operation. Kasi hindi lang naman po Cebu City po, Mr. Chair. Kung titingnan mo kasi yung statistics, pag nangyari sa Cebu Island, naging Cebu City ang tingin. Pero kung himay-himayin mo po yung statistics, makikita mo na Lapu-Lapu pala siya, Mandaue, Cebu City, Cebu Province. Pero pag sinabi mo kasi Cebu, it appeared po na buong Cebu City. And then during that time po, hindi lang po ang police station na nag-ooperate. Meron po tayong ARSOG, Regional Special Operation Group, which is being managed by all ARTUS. Tapos meron pang PISOG, like Provincial Special Operations Group. And then meron pang PIDEG na nag-ooperate. May CIDG din na may territory per province. So, pag makikita mo po yung statistics, it would be ako po, maganda rin tignan po, sino nag-operate para makita natin kung sino yung liable. Kasi pag titignan mo ko yung statistics, kukunin mo, kung saang territory, it appeared na yung police station na yon ang may gawa o may trabaho. So,
pero may iba-iba palang mga organizations na naka-overlap
yes,
sa
Mr.
same
Chair.
geographical area.
Yes, Mr. Chair. Saka ina-allow during that time yung tatawid ka ng area as long as you coordinate sa mas mataas na level. So, halimbawa, Ako Cebu City, yung drug personality ko na target ko sa Cebu City ay nandun pala sa Cebu Province, I will just ask clearance sa regional office and coordinate with the provincial officer so I could go sa territory niya. So that's how it works. Same with from one region to another region. Minsan from Luzon, pumupunta pa po ng Mindanao, Mindanao to Visayas. Ganun po noon ka-aggressive yung campaign.
Okay. You said in paragraph 21 that during the initial 3 months of his assignment, you facilitated all meetings between Leonardo and Bongo at Leonardo's request. What did they meet about?
Hindi po ako kasama sa mga meetings, Mr. Chair. I will just ask for a schedule para sa kanya po. Hindi po ako kasama. But after the meeting naman na pag-uusapan, na pagkukwentuhan, it's more
Anong
on...
kinikwento?
Kasi kung halimbawa, paki-arrange mo ako ng meeting, isasubmit ko lang itong like structure, or I will submit a report, or I will update them.
Kanino
Update.
kanino daw niya isasubmit?
Kay Bongo po.
Yung,
Mag-updating siya,
yung report
magsasubmit siya
ng
report.
ano po?
I do not know, Mr. Chair, kung ano yung laman, and I do not know din po kung ano yung update.
Pero hindi yun report sa regular police work.
I feel that hindi, kasi siya na po task na po siya eh. So it has something to do with the special task po.
Is this task force above board or is this an assassination task force?
It's not po assassination task force. As I mentioned po, it's just these are staffs that will handle po yung recording, parang depository of all information and data, so that kung halimbawa po na may operation sa ground, pwede mong i-verify if this person is on the list, mga ganun lang po. Or if you want to submit a list for validation or what, pwede mo rin gawin po yun. Kasi may capability naman po yung opisina ni Sir
Yung task force.
to validate all information, because he's in control po sa buong Pilipinas na R2, RDs, and other units po.
Okay. And here in paragraph 22.2, you said that all of these reports would then be encoded and compiled by Lester Berganio. Is Lester Berganio here?
Wala po. It's just a civilian hired lang po to encode everything. That was during the time po, yun po nakita ko na siya po yung nag-handle.
Sabi niyo po dito na the compilation is thereafter elevated to Leonardo, who will decide what level the arrest or killing was and its corresponding reward. So rewards were only given for killings, while for arrests, only the funding of the co-plan and a refund of the expenses were given. So you're saying that rewards, there is no reward if you arrest. Wala pong reward.
Opo.